What's good, YouTube? It's Chimera back in another video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the top cut matches from YCS Japan Osaka, which happened this weekend, and there were over 8,000 players. This is breaking a Guinness World Record, and it's absolutely nuts. They streamed the top 64, and this is a best of one tournament, which is absolutely nuts. The fact that there's no side decking, and in a format with Max C, guys, there were 24,000 Max Cs in that room. Think about it. 8,000 players, 3 Max Cs in every deck. Yeah. So, top 64, this is a match between two very skilled players who got very lucky, I assume, and were able to survive the onslaught of Max Cs in a best of one format. So let's see what the heck happens. We have 2 players here. Not sure what they're playing. I can't really remember because I didn't see this live. So, okay, we're going to activate Polymerization. Interesting. Some kind of fusion deck. Branded, potentially. Or is it the Illusion Chimera deck? Also a possibility because they did get some new support in Lido. Okay, yeah, it's Chimera. Sending a copy of Mirror Sword Knight as well as Baphomet to the graveyard to summon out, I imagine, the new Baphomet, who is actually a really, really powerful fusion monster. Yep, the new Baphomet, this guy actually allows you to send a copy of an illusion, a beast, or a fiend from your deck directly to your graveyard, so you can Foolish Burial. Really, really nice interaction there. Chainlink 2 Baphomet in the graveyard to special summon back that Mirror Sword Knight, because when he's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can reborn an illusion monster in your graveyard. So we are going to see these resolve. Alternatively, they could have gone for normal summon Sword Knight, but this probably means they just don't have another monster in hand to fuse with. So this makes sense, but it does play into, I guess, certain things like DD Crow, Bestials. But again, in best of one, I mean, you don't really have to play around those things, I guess. If this resolves, they can actually summon out the Dark statue and lock out their opponent, because you can send that to the graveyard. Then later on, you can make the other Chimera who can banish itself to resurrect the Dark statue and lock your opponent out from the game. So just little cool things. We're going to be hit by an effect failure on the Baphomet, preventing that Foolish Burial from resolving. Okay. But we're going to get back to Mirror Sword Knight. So if Mirror Sword Knight resolves, that's still full combo, right? Because we go into Baphomet and then search a copy of the Fusion Spell and then search a copy of the Gazelle. So that's going to come back to the table. And now we're going to tribute and have an Ash Blossom check. That would really, really hurt here because I'm assuming they don't have any other starting plays. We have not yet normal summoned, which is helpful, but Mirror Sword Knight basically is the normal summon in the deck. So I think I actually see an Ash. We're going to get hit by an Ash Blossom? Oh, that's going to hurt. Yep, that's going to be really, really backbreaking. If you guys have played around Chimera before, if you get Ash Blossom, like on the Sword Knight, it's really, really bad. Basically, Branded Fusion's like your only extender, if they even play it. I'm not sure if they play Branded stuff anymore, because we did get a lot of new support in the new set, like Apprentice Illusion Magician, the new Retrain guy who allows you to search for any illusion monster in your deck. Just really, really cool support that's coming out for this deck. I think it's actually somewhat decent. We're going to see a pass. Okay, that is not good, guys. Yikes. We only have 2 cards in hand after that, so that is not great. Depending on what the opponent is doing, we're going to see some fancy plays. Baphomet does have another effect in the graveyard where you can banish him to resurrect one of your banished, I think it's Beast Fusion type monsters. So you can actually loop the regular Chimera, the King of the Beasts, over and over, because you bring back the Chimera. Chimera's effect can banish itself to summon back the Baphomet. So there's some cool things you can do with that, cool interactions. And we're just going to check here, I guess, for the Mirror Sword Knight. Mirror Sword Knight does actually negate something by banishing the graveyard while Baphomet's on the table, because that is treated as the Phantom Chimera, the Flying Mystical Beast. So that's something that you got to keep in mind, I suppose, depending on what they're playing. I can't really see their hand. Actually, I think they're playing Tenpai Dragons. I see like a Sangan Kaiman. Yeah, definitely Sangan Kaiman. Okay, that's going to be activated, I assume, in the battle phase. Ash check again. No Ash Blossom. By the way, Tenpai Dragons apparently were the top represented deck in this top cut for the YCS top 64 out of 8,000 players. I mean, it makes sense. You know, like, in this format... Oh, we're going to hit by Maxi on the Kaiman. Okay. It's not the best card, though, like, if you think about it, because they can just OTK it through Maxi quite easily. But like I was saying, this deck doesn't really care about going first or second when winning the die roll, right? Because if you win the die roll, you go second. If you lose die roll, you go second. So it's actually quite good in the best of one format, especially when people are not really like pre-sided. You're not going to be seeing anything like Dimensional Barrier or like anything strange, any like threatening roars, none of that stuff that's going to be like in your way. So I can definitely see how this deck is really, really oppressive. But by the way, this is actually post Infinite, the Exodia pack, so I'm not really sure if this deck still goes second. Like, they did have some good going first tools. Kaiman's going to come out. They're going to draw a card, I assume, on the special summon. I don't know if they forgot to draw, because, yeah, we should have 2 cards in hand after the draw, right? Because we used 3 cards. Or maybe they just added to the hand and just normal summoned it? That could make sense, because it's an optional decision to special or not. So it could just be main phase. Is this game? Well, technically, Mirror Sword Knight, that I believe negates the effect, right? So it cannot be used in damage step. Yep, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate that effect, so it actually could not be used in damage step. But we are going to see a Forbidden Droplet here, just turning off the effect of Baphomet where it changes its name to Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. So that's going to invalidate the Sword Knight completely. I suppose that's going to be potentially relevant for monsters that we summon off of this. But I mean, realistically, we could have just not used Droplet there. Maybe just summon the Fadra, the green one, and then taken a damage. Because Fadra's continuous effect prevents the Chandra from being destroyed by battle. But I suppose at some point you're going to be using your effects outside of the damage step. So the Mirror Sword Knight might actually be annoying. That's a pretty good hand, though. He had Ash Blossom, Maxi, Veiler. I assume the Maxi was drawn for turn. Sangan Kaiman, and then Forbidden Droplet. Pretty good. So yeah, this is just game, right? Because you go for... You could go... Yeah, you've already used Kaiman, so you go for the green one. Go for Fadra, and then you can, from here, you synchro off into the Rise Dragon, Biden Dragon, special back the Fadra, special back. But I guess they're under Maxi, so they want to do the least possible summons. But at the same time, now the fact that they cleared the Baphomet means that if their opponent draws into an infinite permanence and uses it on the Rise Dragon, I think that could actually protect them and actually prevent them from going for game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because they have no cards on the field. So they swing with the Fadra for 16, right? And then they're going to synchro off into Rise Dragon. That's 25. If the Imperm hits the Rise Dragon, then they can't bring back the Fadra, which means that they're going to be missing out on the ability to synchro summon and go into the 10. So, yeah, we're going to swing here. So it really depends on what they have, I guess. It's kind of interesting because, like, we haven't seen any of the new Tenpai cards at all, which are very good. At least the 2 monsters, in my opinion, are really powerful, especially going first. It allows you to actually set up, like, you have a lot more starters. You can set up, like, Heretic Seal really easily. So here goes the Rise Dragon. You're going to see an Imperm here would actually be game-changing. Okay, no Imperm. Unfortunate. We're going to draw another card for the Fadra, and then this should just be game, right? Because you draw one more card. But you know what? They could have also drawn an Imperm here to use on the Fadra, and then that would have prevented the game as well, because they're going to quick effect try and synchro, and then that synchro's not going to go through, so they're not going to be having enough damage. So that was another chance to draw Imperm, actually. I wonder if there was a way to actually make it so they could not Imperm by still keeping that monster on board, but I suppose there wasn't really a feasible way. Because the way they opened with Kaiman, they didn't have access to Padra, means they cannot actually go off in the Sangan Biden Dragon, because he prevents your opponent from activating card effects in the battle phase. If you can make that before swinging over and them drawing Imperm, then it would have protected it. But I guess they didn't draw the Imperm. But yeah, that's just game. Guys, Trident, Biden, Sangan, Tenpai Dragons are just insane. What do you guys think so far of the best of 1 format? I really did not enjoy that. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for her. She literally got sacked by the 2 hand traps and then the second Kevin. Unfortunate. But I guess that's what happens, guys. Top 64. Let me know what you think below in the comments about this tournament. We're going to do the rest of the matches as well. There's a couple more matches. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.